Okay. Good evening, everyone. Looks like we're live. Welcome back. I'm Professor McCoy. This is Kingdom Come Deliverance II. It's a beautiful evening out. Temperature's finally low enough again. Maybe for the last time this season, we'd have the windows open and the incense burning, as you might be able to see with the little in front of me. In any case, I didn't do too much off stream this week. I just did did a little bit of collecting and points allocation and stuff. So let's jump into it, shall we? Now that said, a lot has been happening in the news. Not quite true. Not a lot has been happening in the news. A lot of developments have been. A lot of things that we've already talked about that were already in the news last week have developed rather substantially. Is what I really ought to say. And that is of course talking about in politics, right? In political terms, we can look to. There's a great deal going on with tariffs. There's a lot of saber rattling with Iran. All kinds of stuff that is generally bad, broadly speaking. Very bad. But I talked about this a little bit at the end of last stream, so if you want me to expand upon it a little more, I definitely can. I can certainly talk more about the tariff stuff for sure, because a lot more has come to my attention about it, and some of that is even more troubling than I had previously thought. I'm going to practice some lockpicking real quick. Hold on, let me close the door. I'm just going to practice some lockpicking. I don't want to take anything, obviously. That'd be stealing, and that's wrong. But I just want to, get some skill points. Oh, never mind. There are some guards who are sleeping up here. I'm not going to do that. Because even though I'm not going to steal anything, I don't think they would appreciate me fiddling through people's things. So, I've said this before, though. I am trying to limit. I am trying to limit how much I steal in this playthrough.
That's just what we need.
Exactly. We'll have to talk to the others this evening and decide what to do.
What are these things up
It
to?
can't go on like this.
Angel, what's up? All right. So one thing we can do right now is so if we look to our quests. We do have to finish helping the gypsy woman, and we have to help our troubadour, minstrel, bard, lunatics, and then we also need to do some fist fighting. So let's dig out the latrine. Let's change our clothes a little bit. Let's go carry some sacks and dig the latrine, shall we? Where does these need to go to? Into here? Yeah. 8 of them! If I recall, I only had to carry, 3 or 4 for Hans. And he's, my best bro. These guys, I don't know either of these guys from Adam. Whatever, I'll do it. They're busy composing song. Yay. Anyway. Oh gosh. Anyway. So I'll say the oh. Am I dropping frames?
Blessings to you.
I'm dropping a bunch of frames, it looks like. Hold on, what's going on here? Hi, Imp, how you doing? Oh, okay. I think I'm doing okay. I'm still up, still clear. Hey, do let me know, though, in the chat if I keep dropping frames, because I keep dropping under 10k kilobytes per second, so it's hopefully it's not a big problem, but if it becomes one, somebody let me know.
You silly doggy.
See if I can fix it. Yes, I did. So I thought that. So let me just briefly give some thoughts on the matter, and then you can ask if there's anything else to clarify. I saw them, and you'd already logged off, and I was about to go to bed. Sorry, sorry I didn't get back to you on it. But briefly, okay, maybe I shouldn't climb up there. Briefly though, I think that you made a point about the I guess maybe you call it the authenticity of the Latin Mass. I don't know if you. I don't think that was your words, but maybe my words. Oh, you're just listening. Okay. Well, I'll talk about it a little bit, right? That that the Latin Mass has something unique, other than the vernacular Mass in the Novus Ordo. The ordinary form, I guess I should say. And it is a kind of how do I put this? It tracks with what of all people Shia LaBeouf said in that sit down interview he did with Bishop Robert Barron. That the way he said it was, it doesn't feel like they're trying to sell you a car, which is the way that a lot of religious rituals can come off, and even
this is throwing my back out.
Yeah, I bet.
From my neck to my arse. At least it's done.
But this can be really. Oh wait, I already have a spade. What am I doing? I'm gonna dig this stupid thing. Ugh. Anyway, why I think that's so profound, this idea that it's...
Good grief. What on earth are they eating to shit this out? I should have ditched those songsters ages ago.
Wash up again. Oh god, I could not watch it? Okay, let's actually see if we can do this, huh?
I apologize.
Can I... Nope. I'm just gonna stand here for an hour. That's cool. Wait, I don't need to trade.
What brings you here?
Ah,
And what?
Same to you.
Yeah, not bad.
prepare me a hot bath.
All right.
Sure.
I'll gladly.
You certainly will.
All right.
Be careful. God is punishing us for our sins.
Well, whose fault is that? Sorry, that was mean. Anyway, not untrue, but mean. All right, let's see if I need to repair anything while I'm at it. While I chat about this. So, I was saying that the Latin Mass, more so than the ordinary form. I guess I should maybe say the extraordinary form more so than the ordinary form. It has a kind of authenticity to it. And the reason for that, and really what sets it apart, I think, is that it is... it's not... It doesn't feel like it's there for the audience, so to speak. It's not there for the purpose of you watching or anything like that. No. It is there entirely as its own thing, right? It's there, right? We are there at Mass, and the priest is there at Mass to worship God. The ordinary form can very easily devolve into something that is almost like a show that's put on for the congregants, which I think is a fault with a lot of Protestant worship services as well. And I think that there's something about the Latin Mass that really it's there for its own sake, if that makes sense. Right? The rites and rituals of the Tridentine Mass, of the extraordinary form, are what they are, not to put on a show, even though there is a great deal of, I don't want to trivialize it, but showmanship, I suppose, to it. It is quite a show to observe, let's put it that way. But it's not. That's very clearly not what it's there for, and it doesn't come off as if that's what it's there for. Right? And so I do think that there really is that stark difference, certainly, and that is a great draw for the extraordinary form, the Tridentine Mass.
The jobs have been done. Like you wanted.
But you did the donkey work while those two just slouched off, eh?
Yeah.
Fuck. How is that supposed to drum the idleness out of them?
It won't. But what can you do?
Nothing.
Got a cane
The
sugar
job's
IBC
done,
root beer
so
tonight,
the
by the
debt
way.
is settled, I suppose.
Good.
Michael and George can go to the devil for all I care.
Thanks. I'm sure they'll be delighted.
Sooner or
musicians.
later, someone will wring their necks anyway. Not everyone will be as soft on them as me.
Okay, let's go tell them the good news, shall we?
They went to see Annie for a bit.
I'll square
The
things
idiots.
with the innkeeper. Your debt's been settled.
Our saviour! We knew you'd support our artistic souls and save our mortal bodies.
May your name live in glory.
Your glory shall be sealed by the song we wrote for you.
Oh my God, what have you done?
Fuck yeah. For you and about you, our hero.
Definitely not going to sing those words, right?
Which words?
You know exactly what
I'm
words
just
I'm
joking. Right, you ready?
Can't tune the strings.
You've got one job. Good? Right.
When it seems you're out of luck, there's just
Put
one
a
man
stomp.
who
He's up
gives
there.
a fuck. A friend who'll never leave you stuck. Now who can that friend be? Well,
Ludwig?
Henry, our hero Henry, the fellow who helps his fellow man. Henry, reliable
he's loving this, isn't he?
He gets the job done the best he can. Oh, oh, oh. Watch out, here we go. Oh, oh. I can't hear you in the back.
I don't
When you
think.
want to string your lute and trumpet with your black drum, who will pull a sheep gut out through the creature's rectum? Oh, Henry, we thank you, Henry, the fellow who helps his fellow man. His fellow man! Henry, let's drink to Henry, he gets the job done the best he can. Yeah!
Oh my god. That's honestly flattering. Ridiculous, but flattering. Oh my god. You know what?
So, how did you like it?
Weren't we fantastic? I'll tell you, that lute really gave
Learn a
that
little better.
punch. I'd say we were incomparable. Chi la dura la vince. You can't keep a good man down. The world awaits us.
awaits us with open arms.
You know what? You know,
Absolutely great. Amazing. Breathtaking.
Ha ha! I knew
Henry's a
it!
country bumpkin anyway,
If
so
our
I'm sure
first
he
song
can be
is so
impressed relatively
successful,
easily.
just imagine how our next one will be
I mean,
received.
sure, it's embarrassing
We'll
too. but-
conquer the fucking world!
Dear Enrico, thank you for everything. It's time for us to shake the dust of this God-forsaken place off our feet and seek our fortune in the big wide world.
Kuttenberg, here we come!
New life! Here we come!
I really hope we see these guys in the second half of the game. I really, really do.
I wish you good fortune. Maybe we'll meet again one day.
If you come to Kuttenberg, you will surely hear of us. Farewell!
Farewell!
All right, lunatics, or luditics, if you will. Sorry. Anyway, that was fun. I mean, I can obviously, criticize the period, the slightly period inappropriate musical stylings, because there is a little bit off there. But honestly, it was a lot less bad than a lot of these sorts of things.
So I'm paid.
Hey, fight me. All right, I'm gonna switch to my.
So you changed your mind?
Yeah, let's fight.
Come and fight.
Wunderbar. Ausgezeichnet. Möchtest du wetten?
What?
It's more fun when you have something to lose or win.
Oh, okay, sure.
Here you go.
10 groschen. I think I could
This is
afford
what I
10
like to
groschen.
see.
You call yourself a fighter?
I'll show you.
Fucking hell!
Woo! All right, come on up, buddy. You okay? You're okay. Glad he's okay. I rashed this poor guy.
You gave me a beating. If you broke my Grazian finger, I won't be able to play anything for a while.
Thanks for the fight.
Yeah. You too. Here are your winnings.
Thanks.
Rashed that poor guy. All right, Bohunek. Next. I mean, to be fair, I do actually just take off most of my clothes, so I'm just gonna go back to the nice stuff. No. Hey, Bohunek.
Let's fight.
Bonkin
It'll be
time.
my pleasure.
You're a
but
little
before we
bloody.
start, I'll collect the bets. Do you have any money?
Yeah, let's do this.
I do. Here you go.
And now pray.
You cool that?
I'm wounded. You're going to be tasty.
Come on.
Get a move on you, snail. Get a move on.
Oh, there he is. All right. I gotta talk to the... Oh, right. Hold on. Let me see about this. Hold on a second. Bath maid. Oh, I need to go see her. That's all. Okay. I mean, I gave him a right thrashing, but I guess I could hit him harder.
You don't look like it, but you're a good fighter. Here you go. And you owe me a tooth, you cunt.
An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth.
What the fuck are you on about?
That's for Anna. And if I ever hear you touched her again, I'll use my steel instead of my fists.
All right, fine.
Henry
I'll leave
is
her
just
alone.
pristine. That's really something.
I'm sorry.
You better be. All right, which math mate is it? It's Anna, right? Hey there.
I'll be with you, sir.
I think Bahunek won't be bothering you anymore.
Did you give him a proper licking?
Did you? Hey, Race, how you doing? I'm doing pretty good.
Enough of a licking to make him think twice about troubling you next time.
Thank you. I feel better already.
Beating up the
Unfortunately,
womanizer
I
guy.
can't pay you for it. I can barely make ends meet myself. But I can sew.
It's fine.
Clothes and wounds.
I'm good.
Thanks. That'll come in handy.
And I can also teach you something. How to mix a
Oh.
special ointment or to make a few stitches with a needle. What do you say?
I'd like to
I'd
learn
like to
something.
learn something.
Sure. I've learned what? What was it? Medicine? Something? All right, who's next?
If this is the last
Fiala.
time, then it better be good.
Doing
Let me
better.
at him.
Basically, your grandma. That's good. Let me wash myself and heal myself, which is a little silly, but I love that perk. It might be my favorite perk.
Does your Dorothy hold you back a bit?
Think whatever you want, but she turned me into a decent bloke. She's only trying to keep me away from temptation.
And what were you before?
A drunken good-for-nothing who could even lose his own soul at dice.
So what did she see in you?
That's a long story, but it involves Dorothy, me, a pitchfork, and the R's of one uppity customer.
Hey, all right. Nice.
So,
Let's do this.
are we going to fight or not?
You better believe it. But we have to bet first, right? Let's make this interesting.
I feel a little bit bad about completely thrashing the old guy, but I'm still gonna. Henry's a champion. He's not going down. I'm almost out of incense, actually.
The bet sounds
more.
good. Here you are.
I mean,
That's
realistically, I
what I
don't need more
like to
gas.
see.
I'll need more next
Fight!
season, but...
I'm wounded!
I'll knock your whiskers right off your face. I'll knock your whiskers right off your face.
Why do I keep clinching? Alright, Fiala. Alright, slaughter. No, I'm just kidding. I wouldn't do that. Out with the doggos tomorrow. I will be watching the animal chats. If you, again, anybody watching, if you're not in Discord, should be. You should
Dorothy
be.
was right. I should let the others do the fighting now.
Good fight.
Maybe you're right.
Thanks.
You're welcome, lad. You beat me fair and square. But if you want to practice anything or learn something else, come and see me. I'm certain Dorothy wouldn't mind that. Here you go. It's all yours. And from now on, I'm going to make a living through boring but honest work. Don't forget to go and see Lawrence. He has a nice reward waiting for the winner.
Ooh, okay, so... Imsip, that is a fascinating question and perhaps opportunity.
I'd like to learn
But
something.
man, that's
What
gotta
are
be
you
finicky.
interested in?
How it's survival.
I'd like to learn more about medicinal herbs.
All right. I'll show
So
you
Imsip has
something.
been given the opportunity by
you need time
the
for
local Mormon bishop, meaning the priest, essentially, the pastor, priest, whatever, to give a talk this upcoming Sunday about the atonement of Jesus Christ. and he wants to make it a convert or convert Catholic talk. Gosh, that is. So, inserting Catholic ideas and theology while being discreet, I want to omit any references to the Book of Mormon and modern LDS Church. And that's going to wind up being exceptionally difficult. Because that's you only have 10 minutes? Jeez. I mean, that has its benefits, right? You only have 10 minutes, which means you only have 10 minutes to fill, right?
How can I help you, stranger?
And so you can really keep things relatively concise. This is an interesting, fascinating opportunity, but a difficult conundrum of how to walk that line so carefully and precisely. I would think, initially at least, to go in one of two directions. Either one, you'd have to be very careful threading the needle with, I don't know if doublespeak exactly, but by saying things that sound at least more or less orthodox, but might, orthodox in Mormon terms, but might provide an avenue for further investigation and discussion on the part of the congregants. And those two directions that I might think of taking it would be, on the one hand, ecclesiology, and thinking and talking about the church that Christ left for us and its essential role in the soteriological process. Mormonic. Of course. And I think the goal for that one would have to be something to do with great apostasy. To get the congregants to, again, subtly, but question whether the church Christ left us would have fallen into apostasy. That he must have left us something good, something true, something reliable. Which I think you can do fine. Oh, it's incense. This is incense. I think you can do that in a way that could be passably Mormon, but would, because again, you know Mormon theology certainly better than I do, but in a way that would lead one to start raising questions that would start you along a more correct path. The other thing you could talk about, like I said, would be the divinity of Christ and Christ's role himself in sanctification, in salvation. And correct me if I'm wrong, but the Mormon theology is essentially, it's something like a moral exemplar model, very Pelagian. And so, which, to be fair, I'm a little bit sympathetic. Oh, like I said, Erica does not like burning incense in the house, but I have the window open right in front of me, and it's like I said, it's incense is not too bad because it does tend to just sort of blow straight out. It only really becomes a problem, like I said, if it gets into like computer fans and things like that. But yeah, it's that's what I was saying, right? It's God, my instincts would always go to wanting to talk about church fathers and doctors of the church, but you can't really bring that in because they're not exactly, well respected by your target audience. Godly house, not a house of God. I do like that. Good. I don't know. That one might be a little more difficult, but could be. Yeah, you could sneak in Aquinas or Augustine. I would almost say Augustine more so. Just because Augustine was dealing with, and as much as I don't like later Augustine, like I share Saint Bonaventure's thoughts on late Augustine, largely, which is that he got kind of unnecessarily angry and went even a little bit senile late in his career when he encountered Pelagius. But he does have some very strong things to say and some very good, solid critiques of broadly Pelagian theology, which bears a lot of similarities with Mormonism. Again, as best I understand the both of them. That might be something to look into. Again, you can't just say, well, as Augustine said, because they won't care. They'll look all sus at you. But you could weave in some of his thoughts, some of his arguments, especially some of his scriptural citations and things like that. You might be able to sneak in Bishop Sheen, maybe. Comparing religions, maybe. Again, I would try and stick to maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'm being too subtle. That's entirely possible, as I'm thinking in too subtle of terms. It could be because I'm frankly not used to speaking to a lay audience on a lot of these matters. So maybe
I defeated all my opponents.
I noticed, and I couldn't believe my own eyes. I thought Fiala would send you home crying, but you certainly deserve to win anyway.
Thanks.
But that still doesn't mean you're the best.
200 groschen, not bad.
I won, didn't I?
Oh, aye. But I've heard from a few people in the tavern that there's this odd fella that lives near Bukovina. They
Where's
say
Bukovina?
he could beat the devil himself if he ever met him.
That sounds like a tall tale.
It's no
Where's
tale.
Bukovina?
They say he lives in the woods in Kopanina, and his name is... Oh, it starts with B. Bartholomew, Bronislav, or something like that.
And if I beat this Bartholomew or Bronislav,
Then there'll be no doubt you're the best fighter in the region.
Where? Okay, where? Find the Trotsky Grand Master. Yes, but where? Oh, up the... Oh, that guy! I know exactly. Barnaby. There's an herbalist who lives up there. I did not ever think of that. There's a quest tipster here in Truskabitz, which I should check out. What's with all these guys? Is this just more people I could fight? Pretty sure it's more people I can fight. Anyway, I'm gonna put my armor back on and travel across the country briefly.
Greetings.
I apologise.
No, I apologize. Let's go. Imsim says, what religion can say about their founder, that their founder was foretold? Prophets spoke where he would live, where he would die, and what country he would preach. Only Christ. Or when he says, we have God who stumbled to his throne. The God who stumbled to his... Oh, talking about the crucifixion, right? Yeah. Yeah, I think you could do that. Again, I think that might be sufficiently subtle. As an inroad to what is the church that Christ founded, which is really the question. Speaking of Barnaby, every Mormon is... Don't tell me your name is Barnaby. It's a bit of a silly name, isn't it? Okay, that's not fair. This comes from someone whose third name is Drossinus, so... Oh, it's Barnabas. Okay. Oh, you're not supposed to... Ooh, it's a secret name. So I didn't even realize that was a thing, that there were secret names.
I'm always glad to see polite people like you. God be with you.
And
God be with you. How's the watch
Dodo
going?
gave me
Not
a
bad.
fright.
So far.
That's good. You were hoping for Michael Lickman confirmation. Yeah, that would be... I mean, that's actually interesting. Do Mormons venerate the angels?
The humans won't be coming back here. Don't worry.
Good. Peace at last. Until you get into trouble again, that is.
That's weird. Imsim says a wife can reveal hers to her husband, but a man must never reveal his to another living soul. Why? I mean, I know that, at least by reputation, Mormonism is not just, I mean, obviously kind of racist, but also fairly misogynist, but I don't know. Temple ritual names. Oh, it's a masonry thing. Okay, that makes sense, I guess. That does make sense. They have a more important role than Protestants, but not on our level. Okay, yeah, but talking about the angels, that makes sense. I honestly didn't know. I would have believed you, whichever you said. But do they think that they're other spirit children, or that they're something else? That they're essentially the same species as us?
What's the latest news, Innkeeper?
Nothing much, fortunately. And I hope it stays that way.
Okay then. I guess that quest thingy was just a false alarm. Let me up, Pebbles. Let me up, Beetles. Oh, okay, it seems at least like they are the same species. I mean, that's almost what I would expect from... What's this? That almost seems like what I would expect from a group of largely just confused Protestants. Theologically confused Protestants. Because that's what a lot of, like, real-world theologically confused Protestants think. So there's that.
Oh, go crazy. Where the fuck is it?
Hello.
What are you looking for? Oh, I found this parchment close by, and if you ask me, it's a map to, well, something. What, exactly? You can't leave me hanging like that. All right, well, I'm hoping it's a treasure map that will lead me to my fortune.
Last time I asked the guy to show me a treasure map like this, I held on to it too long and he started punching me. So we'll see what happens here.
How about you show it to me? I'm pretty familiar with these parts. I might be able to help you. Well, all this wandering has made my feet sore, but you'll give it back straight away. You got that? Or I'll lose my temper.
Naturally.
Don't worry.
Okay, hold on.
To me.
Hold on, I want to look at it. Calm down. Screenshotting. There we go. There you go. There you go.
Here you go. I can't help you, I'm afraid. It doesn't ring any bells. Thanks anyhow. I'll keep looking.
All right, let me open this treasure map. I hope you guys get a good look, because I was too busy trying to find my snipping tool. Okay, so they okay, so Grace says, I mean the Mormon temple ritual. Talking about the Mormon temple ritual. I only know this because Mormon stories mentioned it in detail in length. Yeah, like Imsim said, it is pretty heavily based on masonry. Now, was Joseph Smith a Freemason? I actually don't know that. I mean, I kind of assumed he was, but I didn't know that. I don't know for sure. Imsim says so Adam and Eve were visited by angels named Peter, James, and John, the pre-life versions of those apostles. Oh, okay, so yes, that does mean that they're essentially the same species, because they kind of have to be. They're just other spirit children, right? He claims they ordained him, Joseph Smith, to the Melchizedek priesthood. Whoa, so they is this a we go back to being angels thing? Because I just thought that was a meme. I thought that was a meme. Wait, hold on. Right. I was wanting to check the map because I have this treasure map hold up. It isn't worship. Okay, so I want to stress that Christ is God. Since they don't exactly worship him, despite claiming he's divine. Yes, do that. do that, absolutely, regardless of what else you do. And I mean, I guess try not to blow your cover, but to not do that is to deny the lordship of Christ. That's outrightly sinful. They claim to worship the Father alone in the name of the Son, but it isn't worship in a true sense. Worship required a blood sacrifice, which they don't provide. So it's simply honoring the Father in the Son's name, right? Yeah. Yeah. They believe in the great apostasy, right? So Peter and James came back as angels to ordain Joseph Smith. John was still alive. I believe he's immortal and still on the earth. Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. Okay, so what? There's a mine shaft. Near, is that a river or is that a road? Can't be a river. None of the rivers make that particular loopy thing. Do they? No, I wouldn't. No, certainly not. Then again, I also have to assume that this doesn't necessarily have to orient north. This map. I'm sorry you guys can't see this. I can't. There's no way for me to really pull this up. I'd have to really do a lot of fiddling with my OBS to show you guys the map too. Grace says, I know the basis of Masonry from Mormon stories, which you mentioned before is a podcast by an excommunicated Mormon who's a psychologist specializing in religious OCD called Scrupulosity. Right, and Scrupulosity is, again, I wouldn't call it religious OCD. I think that's an over-medicalization of the tendency, but fair point. Close enough. And yes, can back up Imsip by saying Smith had ties to the Masons, though can't say how high up in the Masonic organization he actually got. Imsip says everything they do, they close in the name of Jesus Christ. Even they even put his name on their organization, right? The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, right? But think of the verse that says, "Lord, Lord, did we not exercise demons in your name? Did we not do mighty deeds in your name?" He will say, "Begone from me, I never knew thee." Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's. Unfortunately, yeah, they do things in the name of Jesus Christ, but certainly not the person of Jesus Christ, because by denying Christ's divinity, they deny him. Like I said, I've said this before, and I hold to this, and this is one of those maybe unnecessarily spicy takes, but I think genuinely that maybe it's a road. I think genuinely that it is that Islam is, from a Christian standpoint, less heretical than Mormonism. Is it here? Can't be. But yeah, I think Islam is is closer to Christianity than Mormonism is. Now, that isn't to say that Islam is Christian per se, but at least it is a properly monotheistic Abrahamic faith. And so I do think that it is closer to Christianity than Mormonism is, because Mormonism is just outright henotheistic. What hill is that supposed to be? Is that looks like the hill down here? Oh, wait, maybe. there is this little stream that almost follows this path. That would mean that the mine, if there is one, would have to be right here by this nest. That doesn't seem right. Because I know that hill, if I'm not mistaken, that hill is down this way somewhere. And I forget exactly where. I'll have to search for it tomorrow, next in-game day. Or hell, maybe I'll just search for it offline. Maybe that's an option. Regardless, I'm not going to do it right now. Unless you guys have any thoughts. I'm going to pull the map back up. But, in any case, I'm going to get back on Pebbles, and we're gonna go find, what's her name? And give her father's amulet. I don't know why I don't just go, but whatever. I have some honey. Yeah, I just need to head due north from here, yeah. No, I'll just go to the road. I'll go to the road. There we go. Look at this. Interesting. Strange. Alright. Anyway, so Book of Mormon, Imsim says, explicitly condemns secret combinations, basically secret oaths, which it says are the most abominable thing in the sight of the Lord. The book also condemns polygamy outright. The Brighamite Mormon Church, so following Brigham Young, I take it, misinterprets their own book. This is why Trinitarian Mormon churches exist. Joseph Smith did, taught many contradictions. Which, yeah, that is absolutely fair. The teaching of many contradictions. That is an impression that I've absolutely gotten of especially of Joseph Smith's original teachings. How close am I? Yeah, it's right up here. Actually, interesting. That is interesting. I've heard of this. Grace says that there is there's actually an island in her province called Oak Island. One of the folktales.
Whoa!
Oops, sorry. One of the folktales around cover a connection with the Maces and vice versa with the Templars. Yeah, I've heard of this, of Oak Island, but wasn't it that a lot of people have... A lot of people had tried to sort of excavate it, but with no success, and that they basically have just poured a bunch of money into trying to excavate it, something like that. Drive the wolves away! Ah yes, drive them away. To hell. Okay, let's go make sure that they're okay, shall we? You guys okay?
Infernal beasts! The wolves must have smelled rot and tried to get in. At first I managed to chase them away with fire, but they got used to it and just waited for me to go out.
You were lucky they didn't get to you. I got rid of them.
Palikerav, you are my guardian angel.
When 7 men die, the treasure will be found. Instead of the treasure said to be buried on the island. Interesting. Yeah, so I've heard... I swear I saw some kind of a documentary about the Curse of Oak Island. Very cool. Very cool stuff. It's this idea, right, that that after the disbanding of the Templars by Philippe le Bel, they sent people over to the New World somehow, and they essentially buried a good deal of their the treasure they'd done from the Holy Land on what became Oak Island. I don't know whether there is any good evidence for this. I got the impression from the documentary that there isn't a lot of good evidence for it. But that was a History Channel documentary from, I don't know, 20 years ago, so who knows? Things may well have developed or changed since then, so who knows? I'm not actually snacking. I keep putting incense on the burner. Now what I could do is I could have some... Please stand by. Oh god. Please stand by. Could have some mochi. I keep mentioning these. I will say first of all, just to be clear, I am in no way sponsored by nuts.com. I do, however, have a little like referral link, which I did link in the description. If you have any desire for mochi, these little things are ridiculously addicting. They're little mochis, which are little sweet rice cakes. They're this big, and God, so good. They're just ridiculously addicting. This is a 5-pound bag. I don't necessarily say get a 5-pound bag, but we got them last Wednesday. They came in last Wednesday. We ordered 2 of them. This is all that's left. There's a 1.5 pounds in here. Okay, to be fair, it's me and Erica and the kids, but still, man, like, God, they're good. So good. And if you use my referral link, there are some discounts available, like free shipping and discounts off your total order, that sort of thing. Plus, I get store credit, so I can buy more of them. I can indulge my entire family's addiction. Curse of Oak Island on History Channel is the current show about it. Okay, I might actually look into it, because like I said, I know there was I saw something about it like 20-something years ago, but it was like 20-something years ago, so who knows? But yeah, it's... Okay, so Klaus says, something tells me that most of the treasure the Templars found in the Holy Land was spent keeping the expedition to the Holy Land going. No. Like I said, I have the window open. It's right there. The window is closer to the incense than my computer is. So I keep going over that. I keep saying this. People believe me. I've been burning incense on my live streams since I started doing them, or at least since I started doing Dragon Age. I think I've been doing it the whole time, though. The Lagina brothers, Gray says, and their expedition partners known as the Michigan Mob, have been there in Nova Scotia since I was 12, digging. They found a ton of stuff, all outlined in the show. Interesting. Okay, that does sound like some new developments, because that does sound... Lagina sounds familiar, the name. So they may well have been the impetus for this initial documentary that I saw years ago. Maybe it's around when they started. I don't know, something like that, perhaps. Because I saw it when I was in high school, probably. But yeah, fascinating, very fascinating. Early high school, probably. But yeah, it's really cool. That's interesting that they actually found stuff. So that lends it some plausibility.
The Voivod sent me to get his letter of safe conduct.
He sent you to get his precious parchment, but he does not care how his daughter is? Devla! So you know that is the very reason why I run away from there. It is all honor this, honor that, but people, they not important.
It's not about
when
honor.
They nearly kill my Bohush, only because he's Gajo, we have to flee in case they decide to finish what they start. If I did not take that letter, the Voivod would say next day he never have any chai.
I think you're being unfair to him. He cares about you.
Then why does he not show it? He is selfish. He think only of himself. I cannot give him that letter. It is my only guarantee that Voivod will not leave Bohush to die.
He won't.
If the magic amulet does not help Bohush, nothing will.
How come you didn't take the amulet instead of the letter?
Because that does not take it off even when he sleep. But he keep letter in his trunk.
Mm,
if you give me your
steal,
word
right?
that you will not give letter to Voivod, but try to swap it for amulet, I will tell you where it is.
I'll try.
Then I give you my word. I, Henry of Skalitz, son of a nobleman and squire to Lord Capon, promise you this.
You do not have to pretend to be noble.
I mean, he is, but
Your
whatever.
word is good enough for me anyway. I hope Voivod will not try to take it from you by force.
I don't think so. After Gaze's funeral, he told me I was under his protection.
Funeral? What?
Oh, you didn't know.
Wow, that was awkward. Thanks,
Gaze got
Henry.
into a fight with some woodcutters at Semin, and it ended badly.
I Devla. And what about Tibor?
He got caught too, but I managed to get him out. He's safe now.
Sweet Mother of God, my brother. And I was not there for his funeral. Damn Voivod and his stubbornness. But I thank you for my brothers too.
You're welcome. I'd rather no one else came to harm, like you or Baruch.
Now,
I will say
listen. If you head
the
from
facial
here to the
animations
right
are
and
not
down the valley,
great for
you will
emotional
came across
scenes,
a spring with a
but
well
the voice
and a
acting is
big
pretty good.
cache next to it. You will find a small hollow in the trunk covered with bark.
Okay.
That is where I hid the letter. Mi tut ave bakt, Saschipen.
You know, her voice sounds super familiar.
Marika!
Okay. I did this. All right, it's right nearby. What's with the ominous music? What's going on here? This isn't ideal. It's a hollow stump around here. Oh, stump or hollow tree, I forget which. Oh, either way, it's hollow. Is this it? Doesn't seem like it. Oh. Oh! There it is.
So this is the Voivod's letter.
Wow, that's quite a hollow. Alright. That is well concealed. That's what that is. Do I see other horses down there? Oh boy. Oh, it's deer. Well, I could shoot them. I suppose. But nah, let's not. Okay. I need to get some shut-eye first, so let's go back to Takhov. Oh, it's gonna be nighttime before I get there, isn't it? Should have taken a torch out. Oh well. Oh, still light out. Okay, that's fine. Let's sharpen up our sword briefly.
No need to sharpen this.
Mostly to get the blood off.
My respect.
Oh, mine is good. Alright, there we go. Alright. Do I have anything I need to sell? I don't think I do. I haven't picked up any junk. I'm just carrying a lot. That's all. More sheep remains. And a broken arrow. Alright, well I don't need that. So alright, let's have a sleep. Shall we?
You have a kind master, eh, Mutt?
Hey, Mutt. Yes. Yeah, who's a good doggy? Yeah, that'll be fine. Okay, let's go north and do us a good little fight with that herbalist guy.
Quick!
All right.
Go!
Just continue along. It's quite a ways up there northwards. Oh, no, wait, no. I need to... Oh, shoot. I went the wrong way. I need to break east across these fields. By the sheep.
Quick!
Anyway, so to one of the points that I was briefly talking about last week, that I mentioned a little bit at the start about the tariffs, Trump's new tariff plans. It's really stupid. There are my thoughts. There's my brief summary. If you want a lot more, I think that it's incredibly but predictably retarded. This is exactly the kind of thing that we ought to have been expecting from Donald Trump, basically since he came onto the political scene 10 years ago. 10 years ago now, that's crazy. 10 years ago was 2015. That's when this madhouse really started, isn't it? I have no idea what you're saying, Imsimp. If that's a reference, I'm not getting it. Mutt, chill, dude. Anyway. There you go. Slurp, slurp, slurp. So, yeah, I'll say... I've moved to bed. Well, that's good. Have a nice relax. I'll say, the tariffs are so incredibly stupid. So there was initial talk about reciprocal tariffs. And that is what I thought that it was, right? I thought, initially, that what was going on here were reciprocal tariffs. So since Grace is here, to use Canada as an example, right? If Canada is placing a 15% tariff on certain U.S. goods, then the U.S. would place a 15% tariff in return on Canadian goods in an effort to get Canada and whatever other nation, in an effort to get them to reduce their tariffs on U.S. goods. The ultimate goal of which, of course, would be to reduce the overall burden of tariffs on both sides. Now, that is absolutely not, unfortunately, that's absolutely not what is actually going on. That's not what's happening. What's happening is tariffs that are based not on on other countries' tariffs, but on trade deficits. So this was not advertised. This was basically just somebody figured this out based on the math. That it's not that Trump, and he seems to be doing this more or less unilaterally, it's not that he's imposing tariffs on countries that have tariffs on the U.S., on U.S. goods. But rather, he's imposing tariffs on countries that the U.S. has a trade deficit with. And it's on the basis of that trade deficit. What this essentially means is that there is no incentive to reduce tariffs on U.S. goods. Because, as I've kind of suspected for some time, I don't think that Trump thinks tariffs are actually bad or destructive, right? He doesn't think of them as taxes on Americans, which they are. He thinks of them as, in a protectionist way, and then also as a revenue generator, but not from Americans. He thinks of them as generating revenue from other countries, which is completely absurd. In every way.
Why did you become a herbalist?
Well, let me guess. It seems like a woman's work to you, eh?
No, I didn't mean it like that. It's just that the only herbalists I know are women.
And you, Henry.
You're the first male one I've met.
My grandmother taught me everything I know. She used to take me with her to the forest and told me something about every herb she picked. What it's called, where it grows, and what it's good for. And in the evenings, she tested me mercilessly on everything. If I made a single mistake, I got a slap on the ear.
You memorized everything? No recipes?
Why?
Wow.
I keep all the recipes in my head and measure out the ingredients by eye.
Very impressive. Yeah, Grace. I mean, I think that everyone kind of knew that Trump was an idiot, at least in some ways. Not to say that he's completely stupid, right? I do think that Donald Trump is smart in his own way. He has some measure of intelligence, and he knows his way around a lot of things. But he's not in any way intellectual. Right? He's not intellectually curious. We've all always known this. This is no big revelation. And we've all kind of always known as well that he isn't a systematic thinker, right? He just kind of goes on instinct, and his instinct says that based on, being a businessman and being in real estate, that a trade deficit means that we're getting screwed, which is really silly. I don't know. Just give me something good. I don't know. I've never been to Carl's Jr., so I couldn't say. Give me something like whatever. You figure it out. Anyway, yeah, I he's kind of an idiot. Like I said, he knows some things in his little area, but he's not a systematic thinker, and he's not all that intellectually curious. And so, of course, his understanding of proper economic policy is the exact same as Bernie Sanders, which I've been saying for 10 years. Like, you can go back through my social media posts from 2015, where I was explicitly and directly comparing the economic policy proposals of Donald Trump and Bernie Sanders. And guess what? In the year of our Lord, 2025, I stand vindicated. I love it when that happens. Kind of. Because it also means that we're getting tariffed, which is not great. Yay, taxes. Tax increases. Just what a populist Republican should be doing, right? Increasing taxes. Yeah, Klaus says the amount of cope from Trump supporters regarding these tariffs is staggering. It really is. At this point, it's just something between cues, trust the plan, and just blindly hoping for a miracle. No. It's far worse than that. It is far worse than that. It is outright Lysenkoism in a lot of sectors. A lot of Trump supporters are just saying things like, well, you know what? If we've got to make tremendous material sacrifices and dramatically lower our national standard of living to make America great again, let's do it. And I'm just like, what the heck is wrong with you? It's still Lent. I'm not swearing. Anyway, no, that's... God, it's dumb. Really dumb. I don't know. Yeah, it really does in a lot of cases remind me of the sort of populist socialist rhetoric that, yeah, we have to make some sacrifices for the greater good, for the people, because I don't know, I can't do a Bernie Sanders impression anymore. He's so passé and out of important politics. I can't really do it anymore. But man, like, it's fine because Trump is just doing all of his nonsense. Somebody basically said that this tariff thing is essentially the populist Republican version of $15 minimum wage. Which, yeah, it's economically retarded, even though it sounds like a kind of nice thing if you're not thinking about it for more than 5 seconds at a time. And Klaus says, keeping inflation high with these tariffs is Trump's biggest opportunity to suffocate his movement in its moment of triumph and hand us another 4 years of DEI rule. 4 years? 4 years? That's it? You're being very optimistic. I genuinely think that if at this point Trump spectacularly screws up by either tanking the economy in a really avoidable way like this, or if he starts another pointless war, a pointless dead-end war in the Middle East, like the whole war with Iran thing, either of these things could essentially ruin the Republican Party. Like, death of the Republican Party kind of thing. Now, that said, he's already almost destroyed the Democratic Party, too. And so this is essentially just blowing up the U.S. political system in a lot of ways, and who knows what will arise from that. History indicates that it probably won't be very good, but yeah, this could be, as you say, this could be a really bad this could be a long-term disaster. Absolutely. But yeah, it being based on trade deficits is ridiculous. Like, and I've gotten a lot of people just like obsessing about localism too, like saying, well, somebody tried to reductio this, right? Somebody tried to post a reductio and say that, well, look, if we're so worried about trade deficits with other countries, shouldn't we be worrying? Wouldn't it be better if we just produced everything in our own households? Right? Since producing things in our country is better, wouldn't producing things in our own household be better? And a bunch of people were replying like, yes, it would. We should be completely self-sufficient. I'm just like, are you nuts? Like, go build a webcam from what you can grow in your backyard. Okay? Go do that. I think this is from this. I forget where I just heard this, but it might have been Joe Rogan talking about it. But I think it was. He was saying from an old sketch, from an old comedy bit of his, that like we, our society, we are not economically and technologically sophisticated. We live in an economically and technologically sophisticated society. And the joke goes something like this: like drop somebody in the woods, just by themselves with a hatchet. Now the question, of course, arises: how long would you survive in the woods with a hatchet? And maybe you would. Maybe you know your way around. Maybe you're a survivalist. Maybe you're Joe Rogan. Whatever. Fine. Maybe you'll survive. Okay. How long until you can send an email? Like, the answer is infinity. You won't. You isolated in the woods cannot develop even the most basic forms of technological sophistication that we rely on. Yeah, Klaus, subsistence farming for all, i.e. the ancient world living standards, and ancient world population, keep that in mind, is the apotheosis of autarky. So autarky meaning extreme localism. If we go back to extreme localism, if we go back to networks of trade that existed in, pick your favorite century. I'll pick the 13th. The 13th is my favorite century. I'll go for it. But if we were to go back to networks of trade that existed in the 13th century, then we would have to go back to population levels that existed in the 13th century. And the world population was a few 100 million. So, Which 7 billion people have to die? That's your question. That's what you have to ask. If you want extreme localism, you want billions of people to die, literally. You're the meme. You're the billions must die meme. That's it. That's what you are. Don't be that guy. Do not be that guy. Oh yeah, the Gary Paulson book Hatchet. Look, there are plenty of people who, if you let them loose in the woods with a hatchet, could survive. I've probably got a little less. I've probably got a less than 50 shot of surviving in the woods with a hatchet. Like, I might be able to make it, but not well. I would not be thriving. I might be able to survive for a while, but I would not be thriving by any means. There are people though who would be fine, who would be alive, but they couldn't make an Xbox controller. Give them an infinite amount of time, they couldn't make an Xbox controller. Sorry, it's not going to happen. Hell, they couldn't make, to borrow an example from Leonard Reed, an economist, brilliant economist, they couldn't make a pencil. Right? The example that Leonard Reed uses is from the book called I, Pencil. It's a short little pamphlet. If you don't have it, if you haven't read it, you should. You need to. You know what? Tell you what. I'm gonna use my pen, not my pencil, to write it down. Because my notes are all in pen. But I'll put a link to it in the description and in Discord everywhere I can. But if you're not familiar with this, his main thesis is that there is literally no one in the world who knows how to make a pencil. Because if you look at this thing, right? Not only do you have to make and process the graphite core, then you have to make and process the wood, which is straight-grained something, I don't even know, into this shape with a graphite core through the middle of it. Then you have to make the aluminum, I believe it is, end cap, the rubber eraser. You have to make all of that, then you have to manufacture it together into a pencil. Good luck. You can't do it. No one can do it. I don't care what you know about making a pencil. I don't know what level of technological sophistication you think you have. You cannot make a pencil. And that is the simplest thing in the world, and it is something that is of such enormous technological sophistication that no person in the world could ever make one, and yet, if you were to find one on the ground outside while you were walking around, you would completely ignore it. It's worth a few cents. There you go. Interesting. Ray says Trump is America's Mark Carney if Mark Carney wasn't liberal and didn't have a master's and PhD from Oxford. I think Mark Carney makes... Okay, the master's and PhD from Oxford point is actually interesting because he makes very nasty economic mistakes. But they're mistakes that are characteristic of the overeducated rather than the undereducated. Right? He doesn't make populist mistakes like Trump does, or like Bernie Sanders does. He makes World Economic Forum kinds of mistakes. Carney's mistakes are attributable far more to malice than to stupidity, I would say. And look, Gray says I have a 0 to 10% chance, close to 0, of surviving in the woods with a hatchet. There's absolutely no shame in that. You don't live in the woods with a hatchet, and there's a good reason you don't. You live in a technologically sophisticated, interconnected society full of trade networks where we can all help each other. And that is the greatest technology in human history. Trade. And we're trying desperately to put a stop to it. Great. Cool. Wonderful. Love it. Love to see it. Anyway. Yeah. Klaus is less worried about Iran. As long as he just does strikes a la Operation Praying Mantis with a ground invasion, it'll be a momentary distraction without a quagmire. I disagree. I think that is very, very likely to provoke military responses from Iran against U.S. bases in the region, and that will escalate the war. There's almost no chance of that war being limited to limited airstrikes against strategic targets. There's almost no chance. And then the other reason I think that it's almost impossible for it to be that limited is the reasons for it, right? That the regime change war in Iran has been on America's plate for literally my entire life. No, not literally. 1992 was when that plan was first formulated. Early 1992. So since before I knew how to walk, it had been America's plan to launch a regime change war in Iran. Do you know why? Israel. The Likud party specifically in Israel, but Israel. It's another war for Israel, because that's what a lot of these have been. Not all of them, but a lot of them have been regime change wars on behalf of Israel. Libya is probably the best example. We had no reason whatsoever to tackle what was his name? Not Assad. Was it Assad? I think Assad in Libya. We had no reason for that whatsoever. That was a regime change war purely on Israeli intelligence for Israeli purposes, and Obama got talked into it. So and there we go. Yeah, no, I am genuinely worried about Iran. If anything pops off, it is going to escalate, and it's going to escalate wildly out of hand. At least it's not going to escalate to the degree that a conflict with Russia will. So I guess it could be worse, but it's going to be another Iraq, which is not good. Plus, says Iran currently doesn't have an air defense network. Israel wiped it out last year. Any retaliation Iran makes against Trump's USA is going to provoke the biggest undefended against air campaign since 1944. Assad was Syria. Okay. What am I thinking of? Libya? No, I was thinking of Syria, but Libya. We didn't actually do a regime change war in Libya, did we? We did some limited airstrikes and no boots on the ground over there. But yeah, Syria. The stupid Syria campaign that he's doing right now. The whole thing with the signal chat and a bunch of these people that we thought were anti-war peace candidate people, appointees, literally cheering for massive civilian casualties. What? Come on, yeah, I will say I was on the whole Chad, yes, this is what I voted for train until a few weeks ago. It was only a matter of time until Trump did something absolutely unconscionable. And look, he did 2 in a week. Yay. Gaddafi was Libya. Okay, Assad was Syria. Oh, okay. So yeah, I mean, really both to some degree, to varying degrees. Yemen? Wait, I thought the Houthis were also involved with Syria. Am I mixing that up? What am I thinking of? Am I thinking of ISIS? I'm thinking of I'm not the expert on Middle East policy, clearly. I know enough to start talking about it, but I get things mixed up very obviously. In any case, right, that Hezbollah in Syria. Okay, gotcha. And whatever. Point stands. And you're right, Klaus, you are right that would provoke a massive retaliatory response if Iran starts hitting our bases. But what makes you think that won't happen? Let me put it this way. Surely, the Iranian regime is perfectly aware that any goal of U.S. military action is going to be, if not outright regime change, softening up Iran sufficiently so that its enemies in the region, chiefly but not exclusively Israel, will be able to go in and either wipe them out or change the regime or take land or what have you. They will inevitably see it as an existential threat And the only thing that they can, the only path to survival will be to try and scare the US off. And look, it's not going to work. It's going to provoke a response, and it's going to provoke a nasty response. But it's also going to provoke exactly the same kind of disastrous forever war that was Iraq. And it's going to provoke the same kind of pathetic, no one wins situation like we had in Iraq, Afghanistan, chiefly Iraq and Afghanistan, but really the whole Middle East. And that we have had for the whole Middle East for my entire adult life and then some. The only winning move is not to play, as they like to say. But are we going to not play? I don't know. We'll see. I hope so. Trump himself seems to be more or less on the peace side. But again, as I retweeted something of his the other day, where he posted a video of a drone bombing of what was, at least ostensibly, a group of Houthi terrorists. I think something like a training meeting or something, and just blew him the hell up. And he was just like, hell yeah, blow him. He was, I don't know if it was hell yeah, but you get the idea. And I just pointed out the old insurgent math question. What's 10 minus 2? Anybody? Answer. Go ahead. Give me an answer. What's 10 minus 2? Klaus says Trump has filled his cabinet and advisory positions with anti-Iraq war people. Yeah, but did you see the signal chat? That's what I thought too, until they started bombing people and targeting civilians. Like, come on. Any John Bolton residue is going to get ghostbusted by a mob of NOs from everywhere. A mob of no's from everyone. You would think so, but the only mild pushback against a bombing of that literally targeted that was hitting civilian targets, targeting civilian locations to hit a military target from the Houthis, the only one pushing back was J.D. Vance, and it was such a mild pushback, and it was only for political strategic reasons. Come on. Tom Wood's iron law of politics is proven true yet again. No matter who you vote for, you always wind up with John McCain. The ghost of John McCain has successfully possessed the White House, even when he lost in 2008. But really, I think he won. I think he made a deal with Satan. So Grace, this is not a trick math question. This is an insurgent math question. This is I believe this is from General McChrystal. Could be wrong about that. And the statement was always 10 minus 2 equals 20. What this means is, and this is the math of counterinsurgency. When you target civilian soldiers, that is insurgents, it is not like a strategic victory on a conventional battlefield. The reason is that on a conventional battlefield, soldiers are recruited through a relatively conventional process. And that process involves, all sorts of nationalism and yada yada, the whole shebang, the kind of thing that we're all used to. But most importantly, recruitment numbers are relatively stable. And if anything, the deaths of soldiers will lower morale for the sake of recruitment. Let me write this down so I can actually find an article on this. That is very different when we're talking about insurgency. If you're fighting a counterinsurgency war, and say there are 10 insurgents you have to worry about, and you kill 2 of them, what that means is you wind up giving the remaining 8 a recruiting tool. Because now everyone who was a friend or a family member of the 2 you've killed is going to be an insurgent. You wind up recruiting more the more you kill unless you're going to wipe out the civilian population, because that's where they're drawing their new forces from. What this essentially means is, what this essentially winds up meaning is that when you target insurgents like this, because they are indistinguishable from your perspective and from their own people's perspective, from the civilian population, they're not uniformed soldiers. What you're going to wind up doing is you're going to wind up recruiting more and recruiting more and recruiting more and just growing the enemy organization until it is essentially all-encompassing. You will not win unless and until you are willing to wipe out the civilian population. Or just entirely conquer it and just iron fist it. You can't do it. This is why false flags work, by the way. This is why terrorist false flags work so well, because they do. Because it works as a recruiting tool. Yeah, it kills people. Innocent civilians die. But it kills people. Klaus says, I can't accept the insurgency math thing too far, because it basically means insurgencies are invincible. Bingo. They are. It's nearly impossible to break the morale of an insurgency. Once you develop an insurgency problem, it's like fleas. You have to, the only way to actually get rid of them is to, quote, poison the ground for them. In other words, a propaganda victory. Or completely wipe out the host population. Insurgency is a hell of a thing. Or leave. That is how I dealt with a flea problem once. I don't know if I've ever told this story. When Eric and I had our first apartment, we lived there for a few years, and it was not a great place. It was a little 1-bedroom apartment right near university. We had our cats, and they got fleas. Fleas got basically tracked in from outside, just because it was an apartment complex, right? And there's always people coming through. The only way we ever managed to get rid of the fleas was by moving out. When we moved out, we gave the cats a flea bath, put them directly into sanitized carriers, put them into the car, brought them to the new place, gave them another flea bath as soon as we got there, and kept them isolated in the tile bathroom until we made sure that there were no living fleas on them. But the place we left was still infested. There's nothing we could do about it. To my knowledge, it still is to this day. Who knows? I can't say for sure, but I wouldn't be surprised. It's one of those things that is a nearly impossible problem to solve. Take recent examples. Give me one example, even one example, of a modern conventional military defeating an insurgency. Outright defeating an insurgency. One example. I can't think of one. Maybe you can. And maybe there is one. Maybe there's an example or two out there. But I think the scorecard is really heavily towards one side here. And I don't mean scorecard in terms of casualties. Because, yeah, casualties, fine. Yeah, we went on casualties. Whoop-de-doo. We killed a lot of people. We're real good at that. But actual long-term victories? Dude. Oh, Grace doesn't know what a false flag is. A false flag is a fake terrorist attack. Let me give you a perfect example. Klaus, you'll like this one. So, Klaus, you remember in our Star Wars RPG when you guys stole an Imperial, what was it? Blast boat for Saw Gerrera. So Saw Gerrera, if you know Star Wars, is a terrorist, right? He was a Republic aligned, basically terrorist.
Isn't it dangerous not knowing the exact amounts and mixing the potions?
Back from the Clone Wars, and he became.
If I lick my fingers while crushing some herb Paris, for instance.
You don't do that.
But I've never poisoned anyone yet. Well, at least not by mistake.
Okay.
I'll have a look at the.
Can I? No, I actually don't need any of these things. Huh.
I hope you find what you're looking for next time, good sir.
Can I fight you? Anyway, I'll keep wandering around his house, I guess, while I continue to yap. So Saw Gerrera was a terrorist, right? And so he our party of basically just criminal scum stole a small imperial warship for him. Now, what he did with that is repaint it with official imperial colors. This was off screen, but it has happened at this point in the game. And attacked a protest mob on Chandrilla, a very peaceful planet that has a rebellion problem. And of course, because he had an imperial ship with imperial ident codes, and in flying imperial colors, targeting an anti-imperial protest, when people died, what was the Empire going to say? Oh no, somebody stole an imperial vessel. Which is more embarrassing, that somebody stole an imperial vessel or that they put down what was a riot? So of course, naturally, the imperial propaganda would be, no, this was developing into a riot, and we had to enforce it militarily. We had to put it down as peaceably as we can, and we limited casualties such as we could. That would be the obvious imperial propaganda point or counterpoint. So a false flag operation is a fake attack. When you attack one of your own targets in order to blame the enemy. That is a false flag attack.
How can I help you today, friend?
So by the way, congratulations, Tabor, you did this. But the point, of course, is that is a relatively common, unfortunately, relatively common strategy in information warfare. Getting towards the end of my incense here. The U.S. Army broke the Viet Cong during the Tet Offensive. Not a lot of people know this. The regular North Vietnamese army carried on the fight. The insurgency was done. Was it? I don't know. That seems a bit. That seems a bit of a stretch there. That the insurgency was actually properly done. Sure, they were defeated in that offensive, but if I'm not mistaken, the Viet Cong were still they still had a presence in other parts of other parts of what, South Vietnam, I think, right? I could be wrong about this though. Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. Yeah, Imsimp. That's a much simpler example from Star Wars. Yeah, Battle of Geonosis. Both sides funded by Palpatine. Yeah, there you go. False flag. It's a fake attack orchestrated by your side against your side to blame the bad guys. That's a false flag. Why won't this guy fight me? What is happening? I am right here. Copanina. I'd like to find out who it is. Can I just challenge him? Do I have to break into his frickin' chest to find his fighting trophy? What in the world? I'm gonna try it. Where's my weak savior schnapps? Okay. Oof. Anything here that will... Wow, it's got a lot of stuff in here, obviously, but... Oh, this is for his shop! Whatever. You know what? I'll just take him. What was that? Groschen. I'm not going to take his money. There. And hypothetically, let's put it back. Oop. Anyway, moving on. That didn't help me at all. Old field crossbow? That doesn't help me either. What in the world?
What do you need, sir?
Oh, now it shows up. I guess I had to search his chest? Whatever. Anyway. Yeah, so... Anyway, like I said, I think that, Okay, class, this was another good point. So you said, does this mean that once the American commies start the violence they've been training everyone to justify for decades, does that mean the USA will inevitably become communist? No, it'll mean it will mean that we have a permanent insurgency problem. I'm not saying that insurgents always win. I'm just saying that they can't be finally defeated. Right, that's an important distinction. And now they maybe can be. Maybe they can be through, again, primarily through a propaganda victory. Fine, maybe that's the case. Maybe. But yeah, I will say that once the left really starts escalating to actual violence, I don't think you can actually stop it. I don't think a big bad Law and Order response is going to stop it. Maybe it's justified, right? And maybe, stopping attacks is a justification for doing some nasty things to some nasty people. But you're not going to completely wipe it out. I don't think ever. Okay, maybe if they run out of funds, maybe. Only way to combat insurgency is to have a military comprised entirely of Rhodesians. Well, yeah, okay. And there we go, right? So Impsimp, the point of the My Lai massacre, massacred an entire village. They suspected of harboring guerrillas. Like I said, wiping out the sort of supporting population. Sure,
so
you can do that.
You're that Grand Master.
You can do that.
What did you call me? Who's been telling you stories about me?
I don't know if we want to do that.
I've heard you're the best fighter far and wide.
Ah, so that's what this is about. I haven't been called that in a long while, lad. And who might you be?
My name's Henry, and I know a bit about fighting myself. I reckon I've beaten every fighter in the region, so I got sent to you.
You mean to beat me too, eh? I don't know. I'm getting too old for this sort of thing.
I would even call Rhodesia a kind of propaganda victory, right? Because it was a propaganda victory not against the Rhodesians per se, but it was a propaganda victory against their supporting allies overseas. Right? Once the U.S., Britain, I think even France was supporting them for a while, right? Once their overseas allies stopped funding them, they lost. They fell apart. They could not fight any longer. And now look at Zimbabwe. The ancient ruins of mid-20th century Rhodesia are a very stark reminder of what happens when communist revolutions win. Because that's essentially what it was.
I came all the way here to see you. I'm giving you the chance to hit me with impunity. Do I really have to try to convince you?
I mean, I'll hit you back.
Embarrassment doesn't hurt. But bruises, cuts, and a broken nose, on the other hand.
I've been through a lot worse. You won't dissuade me with that.
All right, then.
Portugal and South Africa, okay.
Let's dance.
Didn't the US and the UK support them for a while? I thought so.
First of all, we'll only fight once. I don't want you begging for a rematch when you lose.
Ooh, okay.
And second,
good thing I just saved.
The fight ends when one of us gives up. I don't want to have to try to revive you. Got it?
All right, let's do it.
All right, agreed. Should we get right into it?
Fine. Let's get this over with. Let's go over there, so you don't trample my herbs.
Okay, so
Ready?
Salazar's Portugal was overthrown. Okay, see, I really did think that it was more of an international effort.
Fuck that! Don't slow down. We just got started. I'm too old for this.
Got him.
That's that.
You really gave me a licking, lad. Who'd have thought you had it in you?
You pack a hell of a punch yourself. For a herbalist, that is.
Well, now what? I'd hate to send you home empty-handed.
Hey, Joey. Welcome.
I didn't challenge you for money.
And I'm not offering you any. Let me clean up your wounds at least. Or I could show you how to treat them yourself. What do you say?
Okay, yeah, yeah. Yeah, let's do it. Hey, Joey. Welcome. I'm Professor McCoy. I'm a Catholic philosopher, dad, gamer. I play a bunch of video games, and I talk about philosophical topics, and I burn the last of my frankincense tonight. Backstory is I basically started doing this when the lockdown started in 2020, and because me and a bunch of friends were bored, and I wanted to talk philosophy because I didn't get enough in Zoom classes. So here we are. But yeah. If you like the first game, I don't know if you played the first game, but if you did, if you didn't, maybe you should. It's really good. Might even be better than this one. When I'm done with this game, I do want to try and judge which one was better. But yeah, it's I also have a full playthrough, which I think is linked in the description of my of the first of my my playthrough of the first game. I'll make sure. I'll double check that. Anyway, play about both games. Yeah, I don't know how many hours I actually have in this game. Well, I mean, obviously I have at least 21 because I've done 7 3-hour streams, so there's that. I think it's more than that though, because I have done some stuff off stream. Also, don't let me sell myself short. I also have more academic, like lecture content, and then also some like philosophical analysis of pop culture, media stuff, and that sort of thing. So check out the rest of the channel if you like it.
Actually, why not? I could stay for a little while.
That's more like it. And listen, what if that moment
Also
was to
playing Star
last
Wars
a
on
little longer?
Thursday.
I have
That's
some lovely aged mead here. We could chat a
Jedi
while.
Outcast.
I don't get many visitors here.
South Africa was unapologetically racist. Rhodesia was improving, but wasn't as progressive as the U.S., which abolished segregation. In between the U.S. and South Africa. Yeah, that sounds about right. That sounds about right. Joey says I'll be immediately checking that out. Awesome, glad to hear it. I have a new video that just came out on conservative, or basically more right wing or right leaning cultural relativism, which is taken off, which is actually doing some numbers, at least by my channel standards. It's got like 800 views last I checked, which in less than a week, which for me, it's pretty good. So I find this really funny. This 13 and a half minute video, which is I just checked, the 4th shortest non-clip video on my channel. I got a comment about, oh man, this is just too long. I lost interest after 5 minutes. You really could make these shorter. It's like, dude, have you not seen my hour-and-a-half lectures on a silly little niche topic? Because you should. They're pretty good. Maybe I'll just have to like play Temple Run in a corner and add some loud, annoying sound effects. Listen, viewer, I forget you. If you're watching, first of all, I'm a little surprised that you stayed in this long, but if you did, hi, welcome. I encourage you to work on that attention span and learn some stuff. Stick around. Glad to have you if you're sticking around. Anyway, Imsimp, have you seen what's his name? Connor from Lotus Eaters. The guy who does like the travel vlogs with the Chinese pop music soundtrack. The one he did of Rhodesia, because it was great. That's where I learned like half of what I know about Rhodesia, frankly. Ooh, that was too much. It'll be fine. Oh, you don't think you have? Oh man, it was great. It was really good. It was really fun. It was really neat. Latin Mass is also way longer than Novus Ordo. It doesn't have to be. Low Mass is not, actually. Low Mass is typically shorter. My parish does, typically, if it's not a solemnity, does a extraordinary form Latin Mass, but it's not sung, and it is a low Mass, and it tends to be 40 to 45 minutes, whereas our ordinary form Masses tend to get into the hour and 10-minute range. Because our pastor does not know when to shut up. Not complaining on my own behalf, but man, I have to complain on the behalf of my children. So. Anyway, yeah, sung high mass, hour and 40 minutes. Yeah, that sounds about right. I've been to a sung high mass like 2 or 3 times. But I will say the rather solemnly done ordinary form in Mass in English, which is done very solemnly ad orientem, full participation, delightful. Quite frankly, a lot more pious and a lot more beautiful than the low Mass, than the Latin low Mass, the same parish, at the same parish. Which, man, oh, good night, Grace. I didn't see you going. Hopefully I didn't miss you. Yeah, it's actually a better, the ordinary form, Novus Ordo Mass, is more reverent than the Latin Mass at the same parish. So typically there is not a sung high ordinary or extraordinary form. Extraordinary form is the Latin Mass. There is not a sung high ordinary form Mass. No, there's not. Ordinary form is just the one form in the Latin Rite, at least. But no, the our parish does not usually do sung high Masses. I think only on like certain solemnities and things. Sure.
Did you say mead?
Homemade, my friend. Come, let's
go for
toast
it.
to our fight.
3 hours. That's not bad. I got time.
Come on, have another with me.
Another one? This will be the 7th, I think.
Cheers.
I'm not a fish.
Don't be like that. You can't leave now anyway. You just puke in my flower bed and fall asleep on an anthill somewhere.
By the way,
well, that's your fault for living in a hut in the middle of nowhere.
It has its benefits too, you know.
I like this herbalist.
Aye? And what benefits?
I'm my own master here. I don't give a flying toss about what's happening somewhere in the village.
Yeah, give him that.
Sounds pretty boring.
You might be surprised. It can get pretty scary in the woods at night.
Why won't I like him in a
now,
second? Oh, geez, this
bandits
is
roaming the region.
Aren't you afraid they'll come here?
What would they do here? I'm just a dirty herbalist with a hut full of dried plants. Unless they're at death's door themselves.
What's he up to?
What would you do if someone like that came to you?
I don't rightly know myself. A broken leg or a dagger in the gut hurts everyone the same. That's true. But when I just think about that scum going off and killing someone the next day, it sends chills down my spine.
Isn't it a bit of a lonely life?
Don't make me out to be some kind of hermit. I get people coming here for herbs, salves, and once in a blue moon, someone comes and challenges me to a fight.
Does that happen often?
Not the fighting part. But people have been coming here for herbs more and more often. If they're polite and ask nicely, I even let them pay me back later. Times are tough.
I mean, with fewer and fewer people trusting Bajena, that does make some sense, I suppose.
What made you move to this lonely place?
You think someone forced me?
Yeah, let's go here.
I don't know. I've never met a herbalist like you.
You know what, Henry? You're a solid bloke. So I'll tell you what happened. When I was about your age, I worked as a hired hand in Troskowitz, where this girl took a liking to me. Sarah was her name. But I wasn't interested in her. And I told her right away. But Trouble still found me anyway.
Let me guess. Sarah wanted revenge.
Maybe, but she also might have been completely innocent. All she did was complain to her brother, and he put two and two together.
What do you mean?
Ah, don't worry about that.
Excuse me?
Come on, you can tell me. What happened with Sarah's brother?
He realized it wasn't just about his sister. I never liked any girls. I reckon he'd found it odd for a while, and Sarah just gave him a reason to confront me about it. He gathered some of his friends, and they came to explain how they treat animals like me.
Let's get the whole story.
But if it's true what they say about you, you beat them all up, right? Or are those just rumors?
No, it's true. I'm not proud of it, but if I hadn't done it, they would have beat the life out of me.
I mean, he didn't do anything wrong. We're not... He is a, what would be the... To use a non-technical term, he's a Nancy boy, not a sodomite. Those are very different things. And so, yeah, he didn't do anything wrong. Now a bunch of guys want to beat him up a little bit. All right. Maybe they could have gone to extremes, but he also beat the shit out of them. So. Okay. I'm afraid that this is going to mean that Henry is like, yeah, there, you go ahead and bugger any butt you want to, but we'll see.
I'm sorry to hear that. But I don't think you did anything wrong to anyone.
That's true.
I reckon you're the only one around here who thinks that. The locals think the worst of me. They don't even try to hide it. But as soon as they have a cut or an itch, they come running for help.
And you're more than happy to help them. Doesn't their behavior bother you?
It does. But at least they don't threaten to burn my hut down, which makes a pleasant change.
All right, well, fine. Fair enough.
You said you could teach me something. What was it?
Other than fighting, I'm pretty familiar with all sorts of
somebody,
herbs.
Somebody with a...
And you always heal them?
Always. Always when there's still time. Sometimes they'd be better off going straight to the priest.
That sounds like it could come in handy.
But if I'm supposed to teach you something, it won't be for free.
I understand.
Fair enough, I guess.
I'd be happy to pay you.
All right. What do you want to know?
Let's go alchemy. I have the
Tell
money.
me how I can dry herbs better, without them catching mold right away.
Drying them isn't always the best solution. Sometimes it helps to put them in oil, lard, or alcohol. Salves are good for burns, and herbal liqueurs, they're the best cure of all. It'll take some time,
Joey says, okay,
but
Joey
I'll
says
tell
he
you
does
what I
get
know.
creepy if you don't pass dialogue checks. Basically tries to get you drunk and, Yeah, okay, yeah, okay. Yep, that's creepy. I agree. That's, I mean, I did just beat the hell out of it. I mean, could always do it again. Let's see if I can also learn some other stuff.
Teach me a few.
So,
survival.
You
I
live
don't
here
really
alone.
need more.
Aye, it'll take...
I don't really need more unarmed. I barely ever do unarmed, so I'm not going to bother with it. Right? Should I? Actually, I don't want to fight. I don't know if I don't think I want to waste the money on unarmed. Especially because I'm already pretty good. I can do I can get a skill point in it. Here. Head protection, river, hardened veteran. Ooh, better stamina recovery. That's pretty good. Here, Teutonicus. No. Numbered stamina. Ooh, okay, not bad. Solid, no. Helmet. I am almost always wearing a helmet. So I mean, blows to the head specifically. I usually dodge those, break or block them. Let's go with hardened veteran. Let's do that. Secret of secrets. You can brew potions of exceptional quality. Might want to do that. Potion seller, nah. Poison specialist, no. Potion or alcohol effect you have active now. Dark arts apprentice. Secret of secrets. Make Henry quality. Drinking, what's this? Lucky day? Nah. Master. Tougher. Let's do Rip and Tear. What's Sick'em do? Is this 26 damage? Nah. Better to make them bleed. Alright, Scholarship, Cushion, not bad. Fundamental Theology or Medicine? Depletive. Bandages, 25% more effective. Okay. Theology, Pray at Shrines. Do so, receive a buff that can protect you. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yes. Yeah. Sweet. Stealth. I'll wait on that one. Survival is very high. That's good. You can redo the fist fighting activities infinitely free on armed XP. Oh, well, there you go. Yeah, no problem then. Wanderer. Not gonna bother. Not gonna waste skill point on it. Thievery. Mischief Artist. Human settlements or their immediate vicinity. As opposed to what? Your self will count as 3 higher. That's okay. That's actually handy. That's real handy. Lawbreaker. No. One-handed weapon on its own. Nah. Hidden pockets is nice, but nah. Hidden fingers. That's nice, but I'll wait on it. I'll use up the remainder of my incense. There's very little left in here. As you can maybe see in here. Tamp it down on the charcoal a bit. There we go. Cool. Yeah, let's go Stamping Ground. That's pretty good. Yeah, that is good. Alright. It doesn't help my stealth, but whatever. Ooh, I'm a little drunk. Oh yeah, the fist fighting activities. That's what this is down here, isn't it? Down at the mill. Yeah. Alright, let's go to the Nomads. Quite a journey, isn't it? A camp. Yeah, let's see what's up. You had Imsimp has had a ton of fun playing with the AI called Pilot.
They're going to cut down the old oak tree at the crossroads.
Oh no. What's that sound?
It's me. Hi, guys.
Hey, fellow. I see you had some luck on your hunt. Well, that's none of your concern. Unless you're some damned gamekeeper. And if I were...
What is it? Is it its own program, or is it part of some other platform?
We're just doing our job. And for the king at that.
You work for the king, then why does it say poacher over your
I'm
head?
curious to know what a royal official is doing here, caked in mud, and with a dead hare to boot. Well, I don't think it's any of your business, lad. Unless the bailiff sent you...
Oh, Microsoft, okay. Yeah.
I've just been to see him. He told me to ask how you're doing. Huh. Think you can pull the wool over our eyes? Not a chance. You haven't a damned clue what's going on here. You think I don't know what you are? You may be covered in grime, but judging by your clothes, you're no beggar. And if you're licensed to hunt game, it's obvious. Well, now I'm curious. What do you think me and Vashek are doing here? Looks to me like you're brazenly poaching here. You're not even trying to hide it, are you? Good one. Us? Poachers?
Yes.
Look, lad.
Poachers.
The king himself has granted us leave to hunt. So look, no disrespect, but we'll each go our separate ways. And you'd be doing yourself a favor by forgetting you ever saw us here.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. But what are you gonna do? Alright, let's get down there eventually. It'll be a little bit, won't it? I don't know if I'm actually going to make it before I need to rest. Oh, never mind. I don't actually need to rest. I could ride through the night. Apparently. I'm sitting still. What I need is food. Yeah, let's have some honey. Nice and full. Hello there.
What's up, Pooch?
Oh my gosh. Imsim says, with full Imsim, I finally opened the ultimate box of Assassin's Creed Shadows. I wish I had a Japanese Tanto dagger to use a switchblade. I mean, is it at least a Tanto point? The angle point? Anyway, I held the blade and said, in the name of Emperor Naruhito in the year of 5 of the Reiwa era, I open you, and cut the seals and unboxed it. That is kind of extra, but I get it. I didn't even know there was a Lent achievement. I'm assuming it's don't eat meat.
You said you'd share your skills.
Indeed, it is. The forest, apart from shooting from a bow, I have also dealt a few blows in my...
Sounds good.
Okay. Let's do marksmanship.
I'd like to improve my marksmanship.
A steady hand, and so, pay... I just...
Oh, no, I did not go for that, like, at all. Not even close. Hi, Voivod.
How about a straightforward exchange? The amulet for the letter. What?
What kind of gajo deal is that? The amulet and the letter are both mine! Mine!
Mine!
If you have the letter, give it to me. I'll overlook your insult and even reward you generously.
That's not going to happen. I promised Marika I would only let you have it in exchange for the amulet.
I did give my word.
If I had not already said that you are under my protection, I would beat your soul out of your body. But Pativ is Pativ. There will be no exchange.
Oh, gosh.
And you better make up your mind whose side you are on, Raclea. The letter is mine, and I want it.
Yeah, I know you want it.
I'd like to know about Marika.
She my only child. But she be more like me than my two sons put together. If she be boy, she become voivod after me.
Women can't be leaders of the camp.
You think you're clever, Gajo, huh? So, how many women, bailiff, queen, or captain you name, huh? We are who we are. And this, our tradition.
Okay.
What can you tell me about Tibor?
One day he be voivod. He's sly like fox. He can talk his way out of anything. He's still young and not so much interested in politics and trade, but when he is older, he make name for himself.
What was Geza like?
Geza, my poor son, what a loss. He have hot blood in veins. He easy do work of 3 men. And when he put mind to something, nothing stopped him ever. But it was same when he lose temper and want to fight. Then even I stand aside, because he see red before his eyes and not even know his father. But we not speak bad about that.
And then he rips his shirt open, he pounds a Bud Light, and he just goes to town on... Sorry. The whole C-Red thing just triggers me because I see it on the internet. Sorry.
Tell me something about that amulet of yours.
It give you no rest, huh?
Yeah.
I get it in my cradle already as newborn baby. they say, from the fates themselves. And since that time, I always carry it. It is Chugahuno, magical. And I tell you, I never had in my life cause to doubt it.
Buzz says, I think this whole family marries closely. They are a small and tight-knit community,
can
so...
happen to me. You and Marika are not the first or last ones who would like to have it. But I will not give it up. Shusha.
Do you live by your own laws?
It depends how you look at it. We have our laws of family and traditions, but we also honor law of God and laws of places where
There are
we
laws
stop
of
on
God
our
against
travels.
superstitions, buddy.
As voivod, I judge my people by our laws. But believe me, they are not so different from yours. Crime must be punished, and promise must be kept.
Okay, well, great. I made a
And
promise.
he who lose honor, lose everything.
I did make a promise, you know. Well, I made a promise to not do that, so I'm not gonna. Alright, well. That's unfortunate.
My delo del lasciodives. Done.
Is there somewhere I can sleep here? I don't need to sleep. What am I talking about? I need a torch. Alright, let's go back to Marika and, So I will say, that's a good point, actually, Klaus. That they may, in fact, kind of marry closely. Which makes me wonder whether part of why they're upset with Marika is because she is trying to marry outside of the community. I'm just gonna go try and talk back to her. I'm gonna go talk to her. What am I missing? That's it. This is the last side quest. Okay, let's go for it. Okay, yeah, it's pretty dark in the rain, especially. Sheesh. Yeah. Hey, who are you? Beggar. Okay, that's fine. Moving along. You get an additional side quest after you resolve this conflict, just in case you truly want to wrap up everything before doing the main quest. That is the idea. That's what I'm hoping for. Now, I want to know, is there a way to resolve this conflict without just stealing the amulet from him, or just giving away the letter? Can I actually make peace between these two? Yes, there is. Okay, well, I'm gonna try and figure it out on my own. I'm gonna try and talk to Marika again. I know that there is somebody up ahead. I'm assuming I'm about to be attacked. Yep. Hi there.
Stranger, what the fuck are you doing here? Who have we here now? This one's rich for sure.
What's going on here?
Take him! Fuck you.
Oh, can I switch clothes? I can't. Shoot.
Why?
Come on,
pay
then.
for that.
I won't.
Gang it up on one man! Cowards!
Wow, okay. Well, I did it without my armor, which is not what I intended, but fine. And they have basically nothing. Oops, I didn't want to take that. What did I just take? tunic. Here, you can have it back. I'll take the pear too, I guess. It's got a shield. Alright. Did the sword get stuck in the highwayman's skull? Yeah, it does that. Master strikes do that. It's pretty cool, frankly. How close am I? It is right here. Right here or near here? That is the healing one, right? Not the stamina recovery or whatever one. I hope I drank the right potion. Ah, yes, the headscarf. I forgot how nice the headscarf is. Listen, Joey, I think I've got superior gear, frankly. Now I do, on the other hand, need to fix some of my stuff that just got torn up a bit from these losers. Not that one. There we go. Great. I mean the pears, yeah. Nice looking pear. Okay, I thought you said gear. I misread. I was gonna say that is not nice looking gear. That is a headscarf. They were nice pears though. They were delightful. Nice and healthful. Yum. Wholesome. Okay, let's talk to her again. Let's see, I guess. I don't know, man. Good morning!
Sorry, but the Voivod won't exchange the amulet. He insists on getting his letter back.
Stubborn as a mule. But
You guys are on
then
opposite
again,
sides of the map.
he is easy to provoke. And when he is Joliardo, he makes rash decisions. What if you
What does
got
that
him
mean?
to wager the amulet? Once he agreed to that, he cannot take it back. You know, his honor.
That could work. I'll see what I can do.
I'll try.
Midelodel to Galachirat.
Alright, good night. I know your boyfriend is sitting here dying. I wish I could do something to help more promptly, but oh well. I guess a magic amulet will do the trick. Why is it not... Oh. Where is it? Do I not have any more miracle decoctions? I have weak ones. Okay. Alright, well, I guess I need to go make some more stronger ones, don't I? Oh, and we're full, too. Shoot. Okay. Should have known. Alright, moving on. Let's just... Now that I got a torch, let's just quick travel across the map. Once again. Okay. We'll be back by dawn, right? Yeah, just about dawn, of course.
What a nag, boy.
All right, Voivod. Let's make some kind of wager, I guess. Is that him? Yeah, it is. Hey, wake up. Yeah, I'm just gonna stay in my armor, whatever.
Voivod, what if we made a wager for the amulet?
Dilinigaji, what are you trying? I thought you were on my side.
Are you afraid of losing? The letter against the amulet. An honest wager with honest intentions.
Honest, huh? You want me to end up without shirt?
All right, so how about this? If I win, we trade the amulet for the letter. And if I lose...
The letter will be mine.
But if you lose, you'll give the amulet to Marika yourself. She insisted.
Huh? She want to see her dad on his knees, huh? But that will never happen. Now, listen here to Tignomiro de Gessis. All right then. Just so you know I'm not afraid. And no Prekerantos can without Voivod. Let us wager. But first you must show me the letter. And I will decide what the wager will be. So there is no trickery. It will be you against my best man. As you can see, I'm not young anymore and I would have disadvantage. Take it or leave it.
Okay, sure. Why not?
Letter is here with me.
See? Where there is will, there is way. But you can still back out and just give me the letter. And I will reward you. Otherwise, when you lose, you will judge yourself.
What does that mean?
I'm not scared. Let's make the wager.
Fine then. I choose Tibor as my champion. He will trample you into ground. You will compete in horse riding and fist fighting. The nomad way.
Well then, may the best man win.
Here we go.
Ha! That is exactly what I want.
Now stop bragging. What if it's a tie after 2 rounds?
Then there will be a third contest between you and me. But I will tell you about it only if it comes to that. So that you cannot start thinking now how to outfox me. I warn you. You should have give me letter, and you would have reward. Now, you will live with niche but shame.
Okay.
Let us not delay. As I say, first you and Tibor will compete in horse riding. Do you have your own horse?
I do. Don't worry.
Good. You cannot race at night, Gajo. That would end badly. Come back in daytime.
Okay.
Delodel to Kelashir.
I'm gonna go ahead and do another Savior Schnapps. Because, you know. Let me find somewhere to wash, which will heal me. Hi, thanks, Mutt. He's so useful. What a good doggy. Oh, I'm drunk.
My respect.
A little. Okay. Skip a couple hours, just, standing here. Let's have a snacky. Munch on some walnuts. Alright, let's do our race.
About our wager.
All right, let us do it. The race will be like this. You go down towards ponds to meadow behind Old Crone's house. You would break your necks if you start racing up here in the rocks.
Okay,
Nikolai will go there with you and start you off. He has been going on about having horse race for a while now. Maybe this keep him quiet a while. From meadow, you ride along path straight ahead until you reach road that runs along other side of Rock Tower Pond. Then left around pond to cliffs. Soon, it lead you to left again to Old Forest Path. This, after a while, take you back to main road from Semin and back to camp. Deck, yes?
Do we have to follow any special rules?
No foul play. Whoever finishes course first wins.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's do it.
You will be less eager when Tibor tramples you under hooves.
I wanted to look at the map first.
Let us do it. Henry, I am sorry, but I will not spare you.
Same here.
Enough talk. You can start in 3, 2, 1. Go!
Quick!
Why is he galloping so much? What in the world?
Go! Go!
He's rocketing ahead of me. This is ridiculous.
Ka! Go! Go!
No, I'm not going to do the following path thing. Man, I'm doing poorly. Wow.
Ka! Go!
Where even is he?
Quick!
Fuck you, whoreson.
Alert! To arms!
Yeah, they're not really coming. I mean, they are, but they're not. I take left again, right?
Quick!
I didn't even see where he is. Oh, there he is. Oh my god. Okay.
Ka! Quick! Ka!
Nah, I'm way behind. I see you're taking the mochis.
Come on!
I took an absolute wrong turn, too. Shoot! I'm just going through the woods at this point. Okay. Shoot. I goofed it. I am not going to be serenading my wife with a German song. Particularly not that German song, the one you're thinking of. Stop it.
Quick!
She only discovered what that song even was, like a couple of months ago, so... Yeah, I lost horribly.
Go! Go!
I knew you took the mochi. I saw you do it. Anyway.
I wouldn't want that.
My shovel won!
Of course he did. Anyway, let's go. Let's do this.
Christ, what kind of a beast does Tibor have?
Right? He fly like wind. Anyway, there is round 2 to worry about. But I warning you, lose there will hurt a lot more. We go down to arena and see who's stronger.
Okay.
What are the rules?
Rule number 1. No weapons. When you lying on ground, fight, it's over.
Or a Tibor.
Ha ha ha.
Alright, let's
I'm
do
ready,
this.
Voivod. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Mistress, let's go. I hope you
I
enjoyed.
wonder if this is a
chewing on
scripted
last
loss
apple
in the
when
horse
you
race.
still had
Because that
all
does
your
not
dana.
seem plausible to win that. I don't know.
Come on!
Go for it!
Watch out!
Don't give up!
Don't give up! Watch out! Block for fuck's sake!
You don't stand a chance, Gajo.
Go for it! Don't give up! Don't give up!
Come on!
Go for it!
Got him. All right.
Beat Tibor. Now what?
I don't believe it. He was probably
My
still
wife's
raging
name is not
from
Hanselites.
he got at Semin, but it's one each.
Need super high horsemanship,
And
which
if
I don't
God
have. So
has not made his mind up. Lady Fortune will do it for him. We'll play dice.
Are you serious?
Great. Okay, sure.
Dice.
Oh yes, I make rules here.
You make the rules. Okay.
What are the rules?
Chaiso. Just ordinary dice. Whoever gets points first wins.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Are we playing with
Let's
badges
play.
here, or is this
That's
just?
what I like to hear.
We playing with badges, or is this just dice? Oh my god, which ones do I pick? I have so many freaking dice. Devil's Head is good dice, apparently.
Had a dream about Marika. She returned
Not
to
that.
the
Even
camp.
die. Blue. Wagoner. No shrinking. I think it's the devil ones are the best ones. 2 devil's dice, 2 Lou dice, and not even. Odd? Tends to land on a 1. I'll take it. Odd die. That's it, right? That's Devil's Head, Lou, odd. Wait, how many dice do I get to pick? Oh, that's why. 2. The other Lou. There we go. All right, that'll work. 6
Let
dice.
us get to it.
15. I'm just playing a 1500. That's not bad. Odds is 1 in 5s. That's true, but it's also. See this? Sworn pass. 750. Good start. Good start. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Okay.
So quieres.
Oh, it's passing. All right. Good.
This
Good.
is
Good.
no
Good.
I'm out.
Okay. All right. Do I have 3 6? I don't have 3 6s. Okay. I have 2 6s.
Katarsa, what's up?
All right. So 300. That'll get me 1050. Or
God bless.
let's go and continue.
Let it be now.
Let's keep going.
I want to play too, you know?
I'm pretty far ahead, so this is a 1. What number is this? Is that a 6? Alright, I win.
Rotten luck. Shit, fuck!
Okay, so I have cursed dice. That's cursed in a good way. That's what I'm hearing.
I won the wager.
I'm a warlock, I
Call
guess.
that winning? I can smell caravan and hexes you cheated with.
You're the one who casts the spells.
Spells and hexes? Isn't that your own tradition? Now listen, Voivod. If you want to ever talk again about honor, you better keep your word.
I will... You? Just you're right. You win, and amulet is yours.
It's Marika's, remember? You have to give it to her in person. That was our deal.
And you can't?
No. A wager is a wager, Voivod.
All right. All right.
Honor!
We go then.
Marika, I've brought someone who wants to see you.
Dad.
Marika. I'm glad you are right.
I won the wager.
So the amulet?
Amulet. Oh. Amulet, it's yours.
Poor guy.
It's for Bohush.
Marika, are you sure? The amulet is Chokahunu. It has power.
To save life, yes. And you are giving it to me and Bohush. By choice. Exactly according to our customs. Right, Dad?
Wait. Wait!
What's happening here?
If I give him amulet then? Oi, Devla! Unbelievable! She played me like little shovel.
Is this an engagement that I just walked in on?
She fooled me. My own daughter treated me like nobody ever did. Do not get it. You cannot. You don't know our ways. Everybody here knows if you save somebody's life, they become part of family. And I giving to this Juvalo my magic amulet by choice.
So that's what it was all about.
Marika is her father's daughter, true.
When the foe is stronger, use your wits. You told me that.
Okay.
Marika, dear girl, if you were boy, you will be voivod after me, but tradition is tradition.
I have no interest in being voivod. Anyway, I think Tibor is better suited. It is enough for me that I can go home and take Bohush with me. And when we do not like it anymore, we go again. Perhaps to village.
Marika, did you lose your mind? You could marry another voivod and be our queen.
And what if I don't want to? What if I want to marry an ordinary gajo?
And forget your Anglune? Marika, blood is thicker than water.
So what? But don't worry, Dad. I will never forget about honor and what's right and proper. Maybe in the end, I can even teach the village gajos some things.
You are just stubborn like me. Come back, both of you. I forgive you. And I also... Sorry.
What?
Wait, I didn't
really catch that. Henry, did he say something?
I heard it well.
I sorry to you, and I sorry to Bohush. I acted like fool. I mistake, stubborn for honor.
Listen, I prefer the British spelling.
Now I know I wrong.
In a lot of these
That's
words,
the
honor included.
first time I ever heard you apologize. Henry, give him the letter. All right, then. I will go to camp with you and we'll stay there until it's time to move on. But when you start packing, I want to choose myself whether I will go with you or stay here.
Have it your way.
Okay.
From now on, your life, it's yours alone.
Maricon is
Thank
the
you,
word a
lad.
lot of people say
You
Marika.
fool me nice.
Pronounced the
But
same
I'm
as
not
Marika
angry
for sure.
because I learned a lot from
Means,
this.
means
Come.
faggot. Okay, fascinating.
Me
I had
and
no
Harry
idea.
help you back to
No
camp.
idea.
Much to celebrate. And you, Harry, you deserve proper reward.
Hans? Oh, no, that is Henry. Okay, I was going to say, what? Is that her? Yeah. That's Granny. Something's wrong. Fascinating.
Katarsal, what's up, Pooch?
Is this my bed? This is apparently my bed. Oh, Marika's back. What's up, Aranka? Something wrong?
It's all over. Did your prophecy come true?
The family is together again, at least for now. Gaze rests in peace, and in his place we have Bosch. And maybe we can even go to the village now. Thank you so much, Henry.
How are you doing?
Laches gajo mištes. What can an old woman like me do for you?
That's the last of the incense. Yeah, so in terms of our background, I'm a cradle Catholic. Primarily because the Italian and Polish on my mom's side. My dad, like Erica, converted before he got married. By converted, he was just sort of a cultural Catholic, old stock Scotch Irish from up in Indiana. But and then us, because I grew up Catholic, started taking it more seriously in college, but always was. Erica, if you want, I can either you or I can tell you the story of how you really converted, because it wasn't exactly a typical flirt to convert kind of thing. Or just a simple, the typical had a profound religious experience, answered the call of the Holy Spirit sort of thing. I mean, perhaps, in a broader abstract sense, but
Sure. I'd like to learn a greeting in your language.
There are all kinds, but if you want to say how are you, then it is Sartukejal. And if you want something a bit less ordinary, it is Kaijazmore. But that is only said by man to man, mind you. We women say Sotavezmrichai.
Aha. And what does that mean?
It is simply asking if the other has enough to eat. This is good manners among us.
I like that.
How do you get along with the locals?
It's always different. Sometimes the women folk
your
could
fiance's in the
kiss
process
my
of converting.
feet when I cure
Jesus
their
Christ be praised.
pains.
Amen.
And sometimes they are more likely to burn me at the stake just for being different.
And what makes you nomads different?
You know, Gajo, nothing and everything. We live our lives as if each day could be the last. That is all.
That's
Try
not
it.
all.
And you will see every sunrise
not all, but
like
okay.
it is the first time again.
Yeah, that's all. Alright, do we have any... What is this other quest that you speak of?
I apologize.
That's okay. Who's Medica? Or is this the Voivode? No, it's just some guy. I want to chat around with some people and see if there's anything to do.
And it's over. Did your prophecy come true?
Miserere tu che proiandre. You get what you want. You make fool of me in front of all camp.
Granny
But
gets
you
the
win.
quest.
I cannot deny.
Isn't having your daughter back better than ending up alone with nothing but your honor?
I got
You're
15
asking
minutes.
for a... But yes, you're probably right. Better be taken for fool than lose my daughter. So,
yeah,
everything is good?
Everything's good.
Okay. Oh. There we go. Off stream, I suppose, I'll brew some more marigold decoction. I have enough stuff for it. I just need to get to an alchemy thingy. And do it when I'm not taking up time. Ugh. Okay, let's go to, I guess, Samine and just wait a couple of days. Let's go to Gelioff. Actually, wait. No, these are just fist fights. Those are fist fight quests. Yeah, I see what the Wagner's in. That's fine. Scene of an ambush. Oh, no. Hey, you.
Sling your hook. Fuck you, whoreson!
Mutt! Here, Mutt! Fuck. He's run off.
Understandably, I did kind of hit him. Kind of feel bad. I mean, I feel bad. He should not have hit my poor Mutt. Candle. Don't need that. Broad axe. That's worth a lot. Damn. How much does the pave say? Not much. Okay. I could butcher this horse. I'm not going to do that because there's a guy coming. Oh, it's a huntsman. Hello.
God bless you, sir. God be with you, good sir.
Wash off a little bit. I can't. Okay. Can't wash it off there. That's fine.
My God, he's dead. How the fuck did it happen?
How do you think? Hey, I just took care of this. Don't worry, buddy. Hey, do we want to chat about this or what? What are you doing? I'm assuming there's not more of them. What are you doing? Hey, bud, just taking a look? Oh, there are more of them.
As a board. But who killed him?
That guy right there. He's dead. I took care of him. Alright, whatever.
I've got a bad feeling about this.
Why? Whatever.
Mutt! Oh, he's run off again, the little beast.
No.
Go to hell! Alert! To arms! I'm just getting warm. Oh, mercy! Spare me!
Yeah, okay.
I surrender.
Give me every...
All right. You got what you wanted. Now let me go.
Do it!
I'm on them.
Yeah,
Show your stuff.
Why can't I Master Strike them? What's going on here?
I'll beat you to a bloody pulp, fucker.
There we go.
Mercy, spare me. I surrender. You.
Give me every...
All right. You promised to free me. Now keep your word.
Yeah, I will. Anything worth taking? money. Carpenter's axe. I'll leave that. Anything else? Yeah, I'll sell that. Don't need Vagrant's boots at all. You can have that. You can have that too. It's a lot of dice. Alright. Mutt!
Come here!
Good boy. There. Oh, that's brutal. Warhammer? Nah, not worth it. And now what? Any more of ya? Ah, yes.
You're in for an ass-kicking, you peep!
Killing you! Attack! Everyone, get over here! Enough! I give up! I surrender!
Well, I mean, I did just
kill me, would you?
absolutely slaughter his buddy there, so that's
Give me
fine.
everything.
All right. All right. I hope I don't run into you again.
You will. Military sword? Nah, not worth it. 20 cap, nice, but no. Russian. Doppelganger badge, alright. Work axe. Brian's going okay. Shoes. Anything else? The last guy just shat himself, gave up, and when you waved your sword. Well, yeah, I mean, really think about that. Guy just comes up, barges into your tent while you're sleeping, cuts the guy who was sleeping next to you to ribbons. To shreds, you say. And then what? What are you going to do? Try and kill him? Really? Nah, you're gonna die. Or you're gonna surrender and hope that he's, not as bad as you are. Another way to die, I'll take it. Oh, okay. Embroidered coat, I'll take it. Oh, nice. Nice. Any of this, I'll probably put on the horse. Pebbles! Oh, pebbles! Okay. I can't move it to the horse. He's right here. She's right here, sorry. Oh. Oh. Alright, well. Yeah, that chest in the cave is always pretty good. It's at least something. The chest in camp is usually a little better, frankly. Alright, let's go to Tachoff and sell off some of the weapons and stuff. I guess in the morning. Whatever. Almost out of time, though. Alright. Oh, I'll bathe off first real quick. Am I a big Japanese fanboy like many other gamers? Not really. Mostly just because,
I'll have a look at
the main reason I'm less of a Japanese, of a weeb, I should say, is that growing up, I did Kung Fu. More than, and because I did Kung Fu, I was much more interested in especially ancient Chinese culture than either ancient or modern
Very well.
Japanese culture.
I'm glad you found what you were looking for.
And because of that, I tended towards more the ancient Chinese. Now, there's an interesting thing about that, which is that ancient Chinese culture and modern Chinese culture almost couldn't be more different. Right, because of the whole modernisms of the Maoist Great Leap Forward, yada yada yada, right? And so I'm not that obsessed with modern Chinese culture. Oof. Okay. Nope. God. This stuff is going to take forever to sell, isn't it?
Do we have it? Less. Fine.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Left him with 5 groschen, that's fine. I'm gonna go sleep till the morning. Yeah, like I said, I'm not much of a weeaboo, primarily just because I became more obsessed with ancient Chinese culture, and I kind of shunned Japanese culture, and even to some degree Japanese media. Don't get me wrong, I like the good, battle shonen anime, the kind of like DBZ and stuff. Fine, but I didn't get that much into Japanese culture. Oh wait, I need a snacky first, don't I? Yeah, I do. And ancient Chinese history, mythology, and all kinds of stuff. I was into ancient China, in other words. And so I never really got into ancient or modern Japan, like I said. And so, I avoided being a weeaboo. Not that it's necessarily a bad thing, but I never really was. Most weebs go to Japan to experience anime. I want to go on a pilgrimage to the Church of Our Lady of Akita. Oh, cool! Very cool. Worthy place to go. Worthy thing to do. You always overlook Chinese history. It's got some cool stuff. It's got some really cool stuff. Ancient China was baller. It was heavily imperial, for what it's worth. You'd dig it in that respect. Oh. I miss. Excuse me. Local munch. Bite of breakfast. Excuse me, I'm gonna have a little more. Thank you. The Japanese feudal period always fascinated you. Yeah. I can understand why. Like I said, as far as feudal history, I got Europe. Europe's cool enough.
All right, this is already sharp.
Yeah, whatever. Any bit, just to reestablish the park. Okay. Let's go to Trotsky, or Troskowitz, whatever. Sell off some more things.
You silly doggy.
I don't actually think I have any clothes that I can... Oh, no, I have those, I have that jewelry I can sell. That'll work. It'll work. Oh, never mind. He's not awake yet. Fine. Oh. Okay. Eh? Why? Why does he want me to... Oh, because I'm standing in his doorway. That does make sense, actually.
You're always welcome here, good sir.
Okay. Anything? No. Anything? Yeah. Let's go with the more expensive stuff to see if we can sell here. I could sell that embroidered coat over at the tailor. That's fine. Ugh, such a lower price. Oh my god. I'm gonna put it in my chest. I'm just gonna save it. I'm not gonna do this. This is stupid. I should not be selling this stuff here. I should very slowly and very gradually be selling it at the appropriate shops, is what I should be doing. Very slowly, very gradually.
Good to see you.
Very unfortunately. I'll do it off stream. I'll wait for several days to sell everything. As you do in this game, apparently. I've been hearing complaints about that quite a bit. Okay, sell that. Sell that. Not for much, though. Jeez. Alright.
I'd like to do something.
Do we have a...
That's...
It's kind of mad. Let's try that. That's not bad.
I'm glad you found what you were looking for, sir.
Okay. Okay, let's head back up to Takov. Because he's the only blacksmith. The only blacksmith. In the whole region. Oh, and I'm hungry. Quite hungry. Anyway, it is also midnight, so I'm going to see if he can buy anything from me, and then I'm going to wrap it up for the night. I'm going to do more of this stuff off stream, like I said. And then we'll see next week. Next week we'll probably actually advance the main plot. Would you look at that? Can you believe that we're going to advance the main plot? I have trouble believing that that's even possible. He has 5 groschen. See, look at this price difference. Look, he wants to buy these for hundreds. Of course, he never has that money.
Nothing to your life, sir.
All right, anyway, I'm going to eat, and then I'm going to wrap. Anyway, so I'll maybe Erica can tell the story of her conversion again in Discord. And so if you're not in there, check it out. Check it out. Joey, you're new. I do have a Discord server, by the way, where I chat about mostly Catholic stuff, but also just memes and other nonsense. So check it out. It's linked below. Check out my other videos. Check out my other live streams. I'm also, like I said, I'm playing Star Wars Jedi Outcast on Thursdays. And I'll be back right here next Tuesday for more Kingdom Come Deliverance. Until midnight, once again, if only to irritate Klaus, and so he can make snarky comments. Anyway, check the description in a little bit. I'll have some things that I've been mentioning, and I'll see you all next time. Until then, remember, don't be safe, be well, and more importantly, be good. Good night, folks.